All right, greetings. Tonight we're going to do our meeting, and we're excited always to get together on here tonight. And I just felt like it was important tonight to share some things because, we got to keep going and sinking this site in the ministry in the direction of the Lord and where He's going with it. And so I wanted to do that tonight and just say that, again, we have to look at our strengths and what we're doing a good job of. And I think number one, we're doing a very good job with the Lord's grace and help on Sunday nights. That seems to be our most productive time. We're seeing new people joining our different live streams, which I think is very positive and very powerful. And I think we can grow this ministry a little at a time, even just with that. But one of the things that we're weeding through is trying to figure out what we're going to do about keeping people that we're getting, because we're getting people, but now how do we keep them? How do we get them interested in what we're doing? How do we get them to come to a regular to the Discord here and become a part of our chat ministry and all of that? How do we get them here is a key to what I want to talk about tonight, because I think it's important that we have a plan going forwards, because right now we don't really have much of a plan. We're just kind of randomly doing things, and it's not really working. So let me just suggest a few things. Number one, whenever we're on the live stream and we are on like five different locations and so on, we need to capture the attendees somehow, some way, whether it be starting live chat with them while I'm preaching or I'm doing the ministry, starting up conversations, friend requesting people, and then getting that information to me, or either that or else whoever's collecting the information does the follow up. However, we do it, we need to get those people coming onto Discord or to a website or wherever we decide to use, so that we can get them becoming permanent parts of our ministry. Otherwise, we're kind of just hit or miss. And I don't think that we're going to grow that way. We need to have a plan. And so, my suggestion is when we're doing live streams to try to connect with as many people as possible. So when we go back and do follow up, we're sending messages, we're sending links to the Discord, because right now that seems to be our best bet to get people connecting with us. Um, One of the things that I'm kind of thinking through is we put the kibosh on band because there's some things about it that, again, a lot of times, just so you guys understand, when I suggest something, I'm not saying we're going to do it. I'm saying we're going to test it out. That's basically what I need to make clear, because a lot of times we don't stick with something, and that's because we beta tested it. We found out it just wasn't going to work. Band is another one that had a lot of good things. But the problem with Band is I was hoping that we could use those pages that you can create on Band as and link it to the chat site so that it could become like a website. But the problem is each and every one of those pages is an independent website of its own. You have to join each individual page on top of joining the chat group. And it's just very complicated system. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they did it that way. But it's kind of a deal breaker, because you don't want to have people hard enough to get people to sign up for one site, let alone multiple sites at one time and one, you know, websites. So I don't think that's a real good solution. And there really wasn't a path to people after all. I think it was a lot of fool's gold. I think a lot of the people that um, were joining were spam accounts. I found out. I don't think they were real. So, all things being equal, Discord is a better app anyway. It has more features. The video and audio chat is 1,000 times better. So, we're going to stick with Discord. It's just, as we've said before, it just works. it fits every niche need that we have, and so we're going to keep using Discord. But I do think that there's a way still that we can use the old-fashioned blogger site that I have that I've had for years. It is um, nice because it has allows HTML. So I was able to embed the Discord apps and widgets into it. So now people can join the blogger. They can get our content. We can have content blogs that we can use to send out from the website. And Blogger gives you a website URL domain, so it's a real website, and we can actually use that to send a FeedSpot. So we still have FeedSpot going, and we have the ability to get people from FeedSpot onto the website. The website will then link people to Discord. So then we have Discord now where we can actually just put all of our effort into building Discord, because the blogger is just going to be mainly for um, getting our content out onto FeedSpot. Is it FeedSpot? Whatever, whatever that is. And then we'll be able to the key will be that we'll be using Discord for all of our communication, direct messaging, push notifications, everything. So basically, if like I said, if somebody hasn't already joined Discord, the simple thing would be for them to join it and encourage people that you know. So when you're inviting people to join us, you can either just give them the invite link to Discord, or you can invite them to Blogger. It's either way. But the thing I like about Blogger is it's just a one page deal. It's not like a full fledged website, so it's very simple. And it has basically blogs and content, and then it'll have the links to bridge people to Discord. Now the cool thing is that if people want to read our blogs and they're on Discord, I can post them as forum posts. So that'll link back to Blogger from Discord. So we have a bridge going back and forth, kind of like we did with the Wix site. I decided to discontinue the Wix site because it's very cumbersome. I don't like it. I don't like the flow of it. I don't like how the forums are kind of weird, how it works. It's not, there's no fluidity to it. It just, the chat is very strange. I don't even think people know there's a chat on there. And it's just not set up good at all. I don't like it. I never have liked it. That's why I've not really been like thrilled to talk about it. So I decided that at this point, get rid of Wix, get rid of Band, use Blogger for content. It does exactly what we need it to do. Whether you guys ever go on Blogger or not, most of what we're going to do is going to be with Discord. I think Discord still has validity and a pathway to growth if we're willing to spend the time on it. With Discord, you can't just use it like I wanted to use it as just an event site, just using it sparingly. It doesn't work. Discord, you have to be on it all the time. You have to be constantly posting on it. You have to be constantly sharing information and content. It's basically it's content driven, and you have to be sharing content on it. And we can do that. And I this weekend I did some reaching out on Discord. I spent some time, and I just went and just started chatting with people, not inviting them to an event, not inviting them to a service. Just, how are you doing? Are you still with us? And I would say 8 out of the 10 people that I reached out to got back to me within a few minutes or within a day, and they're like, yeah, I'm still on here and I'm doing okay. And I began to have conversations with several people. And that means that there are still active people on our server. That means that we have a good opportunity to reach out to those people and get them coming to our events. But it's with Discord, we're gonna have to spend the time and rebuild those relationships. Hey, Game Warrior, how you doing, buddy? I decided I
Yeah.
I decided.
Uh-oh. You.
Oh, sorry. I decided I was just going to go ahead and do the meeting because I wanted to share some things that I didn't want to wait, and I wanted to record it so I could send it out to Caleb and anybody else. But so
Okay.
basically, what I was saying is, and I'll just do a quick recap. Um, we decided not to use band because we found out there's some things about it that are just really kind of a deal breaker. Number one is I thought the pages I could use them was like to connect them to the chat group so that it would be like a website. Well, each page is an individual website. You have to join it. So in other words, you don't just join the chat group. You got to join the chat pages as well, which it's hard enough to get a person to join one site, let alone two, three, four different things. So we decided that that's really clunky in a crazy way to do things. And I found out a lot of the members that I had on there were just spam. It's just spam. It's not real people. So I don't think there's a path to people there. And all things being equal, Discord is a much better app. The video and audio and everything is way better, has more features. So if we're going to use anything, we're just going to stick with Discord. We're going to try to go all out and make it the best we can make it. Try to get, I think Andrew still wants to be involved and try to get maybe Dalen to see if he'll come back in and help us with some bots and see what we can do to get people coming. And this weekend, I was saying that I reached out to a lot of people, and I would say maybe 8 out of the 10 people that I reached out to that, well, responded to me, and it was just like, hi, how you doing, and could you use any prayer. I didn't invite them to anything. I think we got to rebuild these relationships. And so as I started to do that, I mean, the fact that we got responses, that means the people are still here, they're still on the server. That means that if I think we need to also start doing some other types of events besides just Bible studies. Now, again, Bible study number one, whatever. But we need to do some game nights, some activity nights where we can then invite, because I think some of the people would probably come to those. And then once we get them coming to the events, then we can slowly integrate them back into the Bible studies and everything. I think that should be our plan going forwards. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, that's ridiculous what man is pretty much having you do.
Oh, I know. I know. It's like, I mean, it has some good features and everything, but I mean, it's a kind of a weird setup. And so, another thing is, I've discontinued the Wix site because that also is very clunky. I mean, the forums, the way that they bury them on the site like that, they're hard to find. It's really hard to navigate. There's no fluidity to it. It's just weird. The chat on there is weird. I don't like Wix setup. So what I decided to do is I have an old Blogger site. Remember the Blogger from Google? And I've used it for like 10 years. And it has HTML, which is cool. So I was able to put the Discord widgets on there, and then I have my content. I can create blogs, whatever. And as you can see on here, I added one of them already to the forums. So if you click on that one, Vote for Jesus, it's a video that I did in 2020. But at any rate, it backlinks to Blogger, so people can actually get to Blogger from Discord now, and get to Discord from Blogger. Blogger is like one page. It's not it's but it is a website, so it gives us that URL, that domain that we can use on FeedSpot without having to put a lot of effort into running a website, which is what I don't want to do. I want to put all my effort into running Discord. I think given some time and spending some time with Discord again, I think we can get it back. I do. I think there's enough people on here that if we reached out to them and just invite them to some things and work that angle, I think we can get things happening here again. The other thing is, we discussed it a little bit, is that we had that guy, Alex, that keeps changing his name and coming in. I banned him. But he kind of said that, we were reported, and that we found out that was just fraudulent information, not true, just somebody trolling us, right? I mean, basically, that's what he was doing. And what I started on the weekend, I started reaching out, and I got a hold of the guy from the Children of God server, and he told me around the same time that our server went down, that his server went down. So I think it's a strategic thing. Either somebody that works in the technical side of Discord either is against Christians or whatever, and he or she or they, whatever, has done something to block our servers, or they're just doing what Facebook does and Google, where they stop the algorithms from working in certain sites so that you no longer get messages aren't being received and notifications aren't going out and whatnot. But I did look into the server, and I did a little bit of research, and I found out that our server was set on mentions only to get notifications, which means that a lot of notifications aren't going out to people. So I changed it to all notifications, so that way people are going to get our notifications now. And now, if you are a regular on the site, you're getting mentioned. If I say something to you directly, you're getting the notifications. But a lot of people, if I'm not mentioning them, aren't getting them. Maybe if they were mentioned in a group posting or whatever, they might get that notification. But we want people to get notified. So I changed it. Hopefully that will get more people coming to the server. But I think we need to look at the server, see what we can do to beef it up, make it more appealing. I don't know. Maybe we can figure out some things out. We can put our heads together and come up with some different bots that might be more. See what other people are doing. That's what we did before. We used to peek around at different sites and see what other people were using. Maybe we can find some different bots to help us. But if we're going to use Discord, I think we need to give it all 100% effort and see what happens. But um, what else was I going to say about that? Let's see. So, yeah, I can't remember now. What else was I going to say about that? Yeah, and then obviously, if we start getting traffic from FeedSpot, it'll come to Blogger, and people can join Blogger. It's a website, so they can join that. And then if they join that, then they can. If they're already on Discord, it'll be simple for them to get onto our server. If they're not, then we'll just they'll be able to join it. And we want to make Discord our main communication then, for now, unless we find something better, which I don't think there's anything better out there. And I think we need to stop looking and just settle on it for now. Now, down the road, we can start talking about building our own mobile app, which we have a plan for that. I think there's a program out there that you can get your apps out there on the app store and everything, and it looks like the best thing I've seen. You can actually get video and audio chat working on your app, but that's a future project. But I think for now, I think our path to growth is the live streams on Sundays. We're seeing some growth with that, coupled with Discord chat, using Discord and growing within what we already have, and then building on that, and then using FeedSpot to send content out. And I'm going to start. Actually, you know what? I did have another idea. Something I might. It doesn't really matter what I use for that because that's not going to be our main focus. That's just to get traffic. Once we get the traffic, they're going to be on Discord anyway, and that's where we're going to get the most benefit out of those people is having them join Discord because that's where we're going to be able to chat with them, live stream with them, and so on and so forth. But it's just it's hard to invite people to two different sites because it's hard enough to get them to come to one. But when you're starting to then go, yeah, we have a website too, why don't you join that or join the website and then join Discord, you're asking people to do a lot when you can hardly get them to come to one thing. So I'm thinking maybe just to simplify everything, we just invite people to Discord. If they want more content, they're going to get it in the forums here on Discord. They're going to get all of. Well, I'm not going to send all of my posts from Blogger, but every couple days I'll send a post, and if they want to read it, they can read it on Discord or they can join Blogger. Either way, I don't care. My main thing is right now is if we're going to use Discord, then let's make that the site that we're inviting people to, because a lot of people are already on it, and if they're already on it, it's an easy thing for them just to click on our server, and that'll be a way for us to grow. However, if they're not on it, like I said before, easy to join it. They can join, and then that's it. We get them on. We'll get them on there, and then they'll be able to join us in the chat, and it'd be a lot easier for us to keep track of people on Discord than it would on a website. So that idea just it doesn't appeal to me to have. I mean, we can definitely invite people to Blogger if they want to join Blogger after they join Discord. It's up to them. But we're going to have enough content on here that they won't have to even go anywhere else, and that's the idea. But FeedSpot, as I said before, you basically have to feed it a URL, a website, and it draws those. It extracts those posts, whatever posts you tell it to take. It takes them and puts it on their site, and then sends them out to all the different readers, the people that are on there, and that's how you get people. So you really have to have that would be the only reason that I would do any kind of additional site is so that I could use FeedSpot. The problem is I don't know that I can use Discord for that because Discord doesn't have a, a domain. It has an invite link, which is not a domain. And if you see what I'm saying, if you don't have a direct domain, like like an RSS feed type thing where it feeds it into their system so that they're able to then draw people. Because the thing is, when people view on FeedSpot, when they view it, when they click on the link to your post, it goes to our website. It will go to Blogger. They'll actually be opening it up in Blogger and reading it in Blogger. And then if Blogger makes them join it, then we get them. We get them joining it, then they read the articles. See, that's the cool thing about it. You're getting people right to your app. If it worked on Discord, we can try it. If it works on Discord, then we'll just use Discord. We'll just totally not even have anything else. But I don't think it will work. So we'll have to see. But I think sometime tomorrow or Thursday, I'm going to start getting FeedSpot going. So this is going to be something we're going to figure out pretty quick. And I do believe we're going to get people. It's just a matter of how soon it takes and how many people start reading our post. There is another option, and I was going to do this live prayer thing to the fourth. Well, I was going to do it through the election in November, and it was Pray for America, and I was going to, start pumping articles through there to help people, to vote and to do what they need to do to help this country, you know. And it's on band. That's a different band site. That one I might use simply because it does have the live video chat, and it's not something that I'm depending on people joining a lot of people, and because it has a URL. But that only thing with that is I don't know if they're going to just simply. I don't know how it works. I got to figure it out because my blogs are on a different page, and I don't know if they join the community and they click on that link, would they automatically be joined to that page, or would they have to join the page separately? See, that's what I don't know. So I'd have to figure that out. It's kind of confusing, I know. But if it's all one thing where they just join the Revolution 24 community, I like that one because that one there, I can guarantee you I'll get hits to the website because people are going to want to read stuff about Trump. They're going to read stuff about the politics that are going on right now, stuff that's going on, trending news. I guarantee you people will want to read that, and it'll be interesting. And I think we'd be more likely to get people. However, maybe I'll just change the Blogger and do it on Blogger. I don't know. It's just stuff I got to figure out. It's whatever's going to be the easiest and the best way for us to get people from FeedSpot is what I want to do. And that makes sense, right? I mean, if we can get 10, 20 different people a week from FeedSpot, then it's worth it. Way worth it. We're trying to build something so that we can grow and have, I don't care about being a mega ministry. I don't really care about that. I just want to have as many people as God wants us to have in here, right? As many people as we can possibly get. And I think that the stuff that we're preaching and teaching right now, especially on the end times and what's happening in the world currently, is stuff that people need to hear. It's vitally important to the welfare of our nation and everybody in it. And we're starting to see things turn in the politics because now all of a sudden Trump is way up. Biden, he was exposed in that debate as having dementia, or Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's, or whatever is wrong with him, and everybody saw it. And now he's going down, and Trump's going up, and all of a sudden the Supreme Court comes in and says, "Hey, by the way, none of the things you did while you were president, you can't be tried for them." So all of a sudden, all these cases that are against him are going away. Trump, it's looking good for Trump. Things are happening, and if he gets voted back in November, which I think he will, God willing, that's good for our nation because he's going to help this nation get back to where it's supposed to be. He'll get rid of all the illegals that are coming in. The crime's going to go down. The economy's going to get better because he's going to just simply do what the Democrats haven't been doing for 4 years. They've been basically trying to, there's no other way to say it, they've been trying to destroy this country and take it down. Otherwise, why would you make the decisions you're making unless you're trying to destroy it? See, this is the stuff that I want to share in the blog, and I think people will respond well to it. Probably do some videos and some text, articles, whatever. But I think that's the plan for now. Keep it simple. try to build with Discord. A lot of sites are using it, and you know, one of the things I mentioned to Caleb, and I'll mention it to you as well, is I thought about starting another server and maybe just giving it a generic name, not a Christian name, and just kind of, you know, I thought about calling it like maybe JC Entertainment because, Jesus Christ, and make it like a gaming site or watch movies or whatever, and just kind of different so that we're not, setting off alerts and alarms and having, algorithms go off that would say, hey, this is a Christian site, let's block it. I just would like to see if we started something else. I mean, I'm not saying we would do away with Jesus Connect. We'd still be our main server. I'm saying let's try something else. Just see if we get more people. How many people would we get? And then we can cross them over. We can bring them over to Jesus Connect. What do you think of that idea? See, we could call it JC Entertainment, and then we could have like, I mean, kind of be cool. We could run our events on it, game nights, movie nights. Yeah, and then we could invite them here for like Bible studies and keep this the spiritual site. And that way, you know, if we have another source of people to draw from, one feeds the other. One hand feeds the other hand, and instead of trying to do everything on one server, why not start another one? All right. Well, I'll talk to Caleb when he's back on again with us, and maybe we can think about starting another one. And maybe I'll have you run that one if you want to start it, and then we'll connect it. We'll connect it to this one, and then I'll try to get. Yeah, maybe we could start it not right away. Let's give it a week or so to think on it. Maybe talk to Caleb about it, and see if we can get Andrew involved in these meetings. He's kind of coming back on board again. I want to see if he wants to, you know, see what he wants to do. I don't want to start too many other servers, but at least another one, and just see what we can do as far as maybe we would get a bunch of new people, and that would kind of tell us whether or not we were being shut down, or if it's just it's hard to believe two sites that were growing at about the same pace that were doing well would all of a sudden just get shut down at about the same time. It just seems kind of like something changed. Something changed on the server, and I don't know if they just tightened up the reins a little bit so that you weren't getting. I know they're trying to cut down on trolls and things, and that could be what they did. It could be something like that. I don't know, but there's something definitely happened. We all know that something happened with the server. It's never been the same. And even now, we're bumping the server on, and we're starting to get a trickling of people in here. Um, Again, I went through. There's 150 people at least in our server. And by the way, what I was asking you about is where it says that the server, that person is no longer on the server or whatever. Um, does that mean that they took themselves out of the server? And is it should we just delete those people, or is there another way to get a hold of them? Friend request them again, or re-invite them to the server first before we delete them? What should we do with those people? I guess we could try re-inviting them. I did that with a few people, and they did come back. All right, I'll go through there and I'll just re-invite those people. Sometimes I forget somebody was somebody that I didn't want on the server, and like one girl, she came back and she's like, she was kind of weird, and I don't remember people sometimes. So I once I re-invited her on the server, I realized who she was, and then I was like, oh man. And she's like, oh, you invite me on your server, then you don't talk to me, and I'm like, oh man. So I'll probably just reblock her because she was kind of weird. But I guess that's going to happen if you do that. So I guess those people will get weeded back out again. But yeah, I mean, if somebody doesn't respond, I guess then we'll just start thinning it out. But hey, even if 20 of those people are real and still with us, that's a good start. If we can get them back into and get them involved, that's the key. If maybe they'll say, yeah, I'll help you guys. I'd like to, run some games or something to your server. I don't mind that. If they're, as long as they're not doing anything bad, that's what we did before. And we've got to get them back on the server in some way or another. And I think we can do it. But I mean, we worked very hard for a couple of years to get those people. I don't want to just lightly get rid of them. I would like to try to get them back and work a little bit. So that's what I'm doing now on Discord. I'm just going back and trying to talk to people. You know, if you get a chance, and another question I had is, if you're an admin, do you have all the same friends I have then? All the same members? Do you see all of them that I see? Because if that's the case, I know that it would seem like it might be different. Each person has different friends, but if it's server wide, it should be the same. But okay, members, yes, right? You should see all the members of the site. All right. Well, if you see members, and maybe even ones that you might remember, and maybe you're already doing this, and if you are, great. If not, I'd encourage you to do the same thing. Just reach out if you get a little bit of time. Just pop on and reach out to some people. Just say hi. How you doing? Now, one of the guys, his name is Noble Champion. He's a pretty new guy, and I Sunday night I got a hold of him, and we started talking, and I just asked him if he needed prayer, and he told me about his aunt. And so that's a good thing to do. Ask people if they need prayer, if how you doing, like Strawberry. Yeah, try to get Dalen back. I know I'm trying to get him back. I think if he felt like he could be useful, if he could use his skills, I think he would come back, because this is a good opportunity. Now he may actually, if I can get him and Andrew together, that might be a way to get him back in here, because he could help Andrew with the bots too, and then that might create an opportunity. But if the server's dead, yeah, I talked to her the other night. She was in somewhere on vacation with her friend, and I talked to her, but I've just been trying to. I don't even know if it's got to be her, because it's kind of like, is she using like kind of like a Chinese name now? All right, because I mean she's had so many names, but I'm pretty sure it's her. And I've been just kind of like, hey, how you doing? Talking to her about the weather, just anything and everything, just conversation. I think that's what we're going to have to do on Discord. We're going to have to spend some time and kind of rebuild the. Oh, my camera just went on. Yeah, we're going to have to rebuild it little by little. And then, of course, reaching out. Now, again, getting new people, we're going to have to reach outside of Discord too. And that's why we're going to use FeedSpot. these live streams, and eventually maybe even doing some advertising on other sites. I mean, I got to find out how much it costs to advertise on Christian Post, but it might be too expensive for us. But they definitely have a lot of people, and I think our type of articles and stuff, if we could get them on there, I don't know if they allow for that, or if we could just advertise our server. Um, but I don't know how to advertise this. What we're doing now? Do we just what are we calling it now? What are we what are we pointing people to? I mean, it's hard to point people to Discord because Discord is like a huge jungle, and you're using an invite link, and yeah, they'll get to our server. That's not a problem, but it's not ideal to invite people to something like this. This would be better if they, again, that's kind of why I wanted to have a website so that you could just invite people. Now, if we use Blogger, we could use that as an invite link. Like when I do, I got to think that through. I'm not really 100% sure how that would work. I'm talking about inviting people off of social media, not like inviting people from like our live streams. You could just give people the Discord link for that. That's fine. But if you're inviting strange, random people that you don't even know, like sending links out, how are you going to use Discord? You could send an invite link to Discord, but what are we calling it? Are we calling it Jesus Connect then? Are we still calling it Christian App? I mean, that's where we got to figure out our strategy of how are we going to invite these people and what are they coming to? Because if I invest money in advertising, we got to know what we're doing. Well, I don't want to rebrand. I don't want to rebrand Discord. I like Jesus Connect for Discord. I really do. I mean, Godtalk, as much as I like it, I got the hat, I got the shirt. I don't really care. I'm not married to it. I'm not really sure about that right now. I got to think that through. Um, the other idea is I have a website that we were going to set up when we were checking out websites and Wix and all of that. And that website, I have a domain. It's a Godtalk domain, and I also have an email that I have with it. So you would be able to give people, admins and stuff, their own email. So if you're helping me, and you could have an email address, and you can give it to people if they need help, if they have questions, blah blah blah. But that's a website that you could put in the Discord widgets would work inside of it, and you could also have it has a blog in that comes with it. So you'd have your blog. I think it even has a forum, but you would have all that right there on the website, and then you already have the domain. That might be a better way to go than Blogger, but I got to think it through. I haven't got I haven't thought it through, but the main thing is when you're inviting people from all over the web. I don't have a problem inviting people to Discord. We just need to figure out how we're going to brand that. You can't brand it come to Discord because then, that doesn't make any sense. Then Discord is getting all that traffic and all the people. And so that wouldn't make any sense. You got to have that website that so you can still have your own identity and your own brand outside of Discord. We don't want to just be Discord. That to me defeats the purpose of having our own ministry. I don't know if that makes any sense. Discord is to be an enhancement, a tool in which we use to promote our ministry in the Lord. So we want to promote the ministry, not Discord. So how do we do that? And that's where I got to figure that out. Once I figure that out, then we can start advertising it and put money into it. I'll be willing to put some money into it. Everything right now we're doing is free. So that means that we can take that, any money that we were going to spend $100 a month on Circle. So we can take that $100 a month and advertise, and guess what? We're going to get people from that. So we have a plan. It's just we got to figure out the best way to do it. And it may just very well may just be using Blogger. And that would be our domain, and then they can join Discord from Blogger. It's simply click a button and you go right to Discord. Now that's probably a better way to advertise. But however, let's just say on Sunday night we're on Wire Club and we got people that are interested in knowing, hey, do you have a website? What are you guys doing? That would be a good person just to give the Discord link to, because that's ultimately where you want them to come. Once they're on Discord, then they can go to the website. Then they can read our content and everything else. But if we get them on Discord, but that's different than advertising to the World Wide Web. Different. Individuals, people that you meet, people that you come to know, if you're in gaming and you come across somebody, just pitch them the Discord link and you have it. And then there is a way, I'm pretty sure, on Discord that we could create our own domain. Have we ever tried that? Have we ever thought about that? Didn't Dalen do that for us at some point? Didn't he have I forget. It seemed like at one point we had our own domain. But at any rate, we should look into it, because if we just had a really good domain for Discord that was easy for people to join it, instead of giving them that link, which is really weird. It's just like numbers and letters and symbols. I mean, that's not good. You can't invite people from the World Wide Web to a scribbled link. Well, we need to look into it. So maybe we can both do a little research on that. And if we can get a custom domain and it's not a lot of money, I would pay for it, because that's a game changer. I mean, then I don't have a problem. If, like, say we could have a domain like JesusConnect.discord.com, or I don't know, whatever. Now I know that there's got to be a way to do it. It's just a matter of looking into it. But if we're serious about Discord, we really need to have some kind of a domain that I know before. I think what I did was I took the permanent link, and maybe this is something I could do again, and I linked it to one of my domains. And then when people clicked on it, it just went to the invite link to get onto Discord, to our server. That is something that I could do. It's just a redirect. And that would be better than giving them an invite link with scribbles and symbols and all of that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You got to think about everything. Well, you got to think about it from your end. If you're somebody randomly on the web, let's say you're just on Google, and somebody is inviting you, you click on a link and they're inviting you to come to, let's say, Jesus Connect, the ultimate Christian app, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's a Discord link, but it's just an invite link. It doesn't even say Discord. It's just a scribbly invite link. That's not very inviting. But if you had something that said Jesus Connect .me or whatever, okay, that's a little more friendly. I'll click on that link, and then it goes right to Discord. That would make sense. So I can work on that once again. But other than that, these are just little things. But at the end of the day, as I always say, these are the technical things. They don't have anything to do with the spiritual things. Spiritual things are spiritual, they come from heaven. But we're balancing technical with spiritual, which is not an easy task. And we're trying to get the spiritual realm out there through the technical realm, and trying to do that is not an easy task. But after 10 years, hopefully we've learned something. And I know that, it's not easy. Me and Andrew were talking about it, I think, the other day is, you know, at some point you just have to kind of settle on something and work it. And I mean, we did that. We were on Rabbit Chat for almost 2 years or 3 years. We were on Cosme for almost a year. We're still on Cosme, even though we don't go on there much. Wire Club, that's 10 years, going on 11. So we are able to be very, you know, capable of staying on a site for a long time. We've been on Discord now for almost 4 years. And we've had some ups and downs. It hasn't been the best experience. But I think when you look back on it, it's a lot better than it seemed. We did reach quite a few people, even though maybe we don't know the full effect of how we reached them. We don't know. Maybe there's people that are serving the Lord today because they came into a server like this. But we'll never know if we don't give it our all. So we're going to do that from this point on. We're just going to stick with Discord. Um, if something comes along, I'm going to be testing things. Who knows? Maybe something comes along and it's a much better. But I just don't see us ever getting rid of Discord, period, because there's just too much upside with it. It's like our home. I mean, whenever I need to get a hold of you guys, it's Discord. It's not anything else. We don't have anything. This is our main communication hub. That should tell us everything we need to know. Because what you use the most, think about it. The apps that you use the most are the apps that are the best. Right? Shut up. The apps that you use the most. So if you use Facebook, I'm just giving examples. If you use Twitter, if you used, whatever you actually use, like for all purpose, he was saying, yeah, I know. All right. So anyway, I got to get this guy out for a walk chews me, before he chews me up. All right, man. Thanks for coming on, bro, and we'll see you tomorrow night. God bless.